Everyone, so today in this video I'm going to explain about fetal circulation. So fetus is basically you when you were inside your mother's uterus or when you were inside your mother's womb, so that is known as the fetus. So this fetal circulation is very different from the adult circulation. All right, so we have to understand adult circulation before understanding fetal circulation. It is very different from adult circulation. It is much more complicated than the adult circulation, but I've tried to make it simpler so that you will understand it better. So before going talking about the fetal circulation, I'll be speaking about the adult circulation first, so that we can review this topic. So we know that our heart mainly carries deoxygenated as well as oxygenated blood. So this blue color represents deoxygenated blood and the red color represents oxygenated blood. So deoxygenated blood comes to the right atrium from the superior vena cava and also from the inferior vena cava. So from the superior vena cava, that is from the upper part of the body, and inferior vena cava from the lower part of the body, this deoxygenated blood will come to the right atrium, and from the right atrium it will move to the right ventricles, and from the right ventricles it will move to the pulmonary artery, and it will go to the lungs. So this deoxygenated blood moves to the lungs, and where it will get oxygenated. So this oxygenated blood will come back again to the heart. From the pulmonary vein it will enter the left atrium, and from the left atrium it will move to the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle it will move to the aorta. Throughout the body it will be distributed through the ascending aorta and also from the descending aorta to the lower part of the body. So in this way this circulation takes place outside the womb or in an adult. So there are also four valves which is present in the heart. So first is the tricuspid valve, which is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle, and the pulmonary valve, which is present between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, and the between the left atrium and the left ventricle there is bicuspid valve, and between the left ventricle and the aorta there is another valve known as the aortic valve. So these are the four valves which are present. So this was about the adult circulation. So before talking about the fetal circulation, so let's understand the difference. So the difference is that in fetal circulation there is presence of shunts. So these are the three shunts which are present in the fetal circulation. So first is the ductus venosus, second is foramen ovale, and ductus arteriosus. So these three shunts are present in the fetal circulation, which is not present in the adult circulation. So shunts are basically the bypass channels. So this will prevent the blood flow to the lungs, and majority of the blood will flow through these shunts. All right, this will mostly prevent the blood flow to the lungs, and from the shunt it will bypass the blood will bypass through these shunts. So let's see where these shunts are located in fetal circulation. So this is the fetal heart, and this is the liver of the fetus, and this is the umbilical cord, and this is the placenta. So during the fetal stage, when the baby is inside the mother's uterus, the fetal lungs are not functional, because there is presence of fluid inside the lungs or in the alveoli. It is fluid filled alveoli. So because of that the lungs are not functioning properly. So to get oxygen they are dependent on the mother. So in the maternal blood they are dependent. So from the maternal blood this oxygen will be coming to the fetus, and the deoxygenated blood will move back to the maternal blood. It will be moving out to the maternal part. All right, to the maternal blood it will be moving out, and and carbon dioxide will be removed from the fetal blood. So let's see how this it happens. So we know that the placenta is a connection between the fetus and the mother, and this umbilical cord, it forms a connection between the placenta and the fetus. So this umbilical cord will carry oxygenated blood to the fetus, and also it will carry deoxygenated blood from the fetus to the mother, so that it can remove the carbon dioxide present in the deoxygenated blood. So this umbilical cord mainly contains blood vessels. So there are two types of blood vessels which are present in this umbilical cord. One is the umbilical vein. So there is one umbilical vein in this umbilical cord which carries oxygenated blood. So remember this red color, as I said, red color represents oxygenated blood. So this red color is the umbilical vein which carries oxygenated blood, and there is two umbilical arteries in the umbilical cord. These are the two umbilical arteries which will carry deoxygenated blood from the baby. So let's understand how the oxygen comes to the baby. So from this umbilical vein the oxygenated blood will enter the fetus. So first this umbilical cord will enter to the vein, I mean the liver. So this liver is usually not functional in the fetus. So but there is presence of blood flow in the liver, but it is not yet functional. So this umbilical vein will enter the portal vein, so which is the main vein in the which is present in the liver. So it will enter the portal vein, but because of the presence of the shunt, this is the first shunt which is present, that is known as the ductus venosus, which is present here. So because of the presence of this shunt here, the blood will shunt towards the inferior vena cava. From the portal vein, the blood will shunt towards the inferior vena cava. As we know that, as I said, inferior vena cava carries deoxygenated blood, and superior vena cava and inferior vena cava will carry deoxygenated blood. So here is also presence of deoxygenated blood. This blue dot represents deoxygenated blood. But this umbilical vein, we know that it carries oxygenated blood. So this blood will get mixed. So deoxygenated and oxygenated blood gets mixed. So this blood will move towards the right atrium. So this from the inferior vena cava, the blood will move to the right atrium, and this mixed blood and there will be mixed blood. All right, so from the mixed blood, most of the oxygenated blood will move towards the foramen ovale, and from the right atrium it will move to the right from the right atrium it will move to the left atrium. All right, so this is the right atrium and this is the left atrium. All right, so the blood will move from the right atrium to the left atrium from through this shunt known as the foramen ovale. So this is the second shunt which is present here. It is a connection between the right atrium and the left atrium. So most of the oxygenated blood, that is most of the, that is 80% of the blood will move through this way, and it will not, and 15 like 20% of the blood will move this way. All right, that is through the pulmonary artery it will move, and most of the blood will shunt through this, that is from the right atrium to the left atrium, and from the left atrium this blood will move to the left ventricle, and from that it will get distributed throughout the body. This is how it happens. And as I said, some of the blood will be moving towards the pulmonary artery. That is, most of the deoxygenated blood will be moving towards the pulmonary artery, and it will try to move to the lungs. But as I said, the lungs are filled with fluids, so there will be presence of resistance in the lungs. Okay, because of that, what will happen? There is also presence of another shunt here, which is known as the ductus arteriosus. So because of the presence of this resistance, this blood will move towards the ductus arteriosus shunt and will get mixed with the aortic blood. So ductus arteriosus is basically connection between the pulmonary artery, this is the pulmonary artery, and the aorta. Okay, so this is the connection between the pulmonary artery and the aorta is known as the ductus arteriosus. So in this way, this blood will move to the ductus arteriosus. Through the ductus arteriosus, it will get mixed with this deoxygenated blood will again get mixed with this oxygenated blood which comes from the left ventricle to the aorta. It will again get mixed. So this mixed blood will move downward and upward. It will be distributed towards the body through the ascending aorta and also from the descending aorta. So from the descending aorta, this blood will come downwards and will get distributed. So most of the oxygenated blood is used by the tissues, and the remaining deoxygenated blood, so whatever blood is deoxygenated, it will move through the umbilical vein. So this umbilical vein will carry this deoxygenated blood, and from this vein it will go to the maternal blood, and this carbon dioxide which is present in the deoxygenated blood, which is harmful, will be removed through the maternal blood. All right, so this is how the circulation takes place. So now you might have a question like, why does this shunting takes place, why it does not flow, why this mixed blood does not get flow here, and why most of the 80% of the blood flows here, and why this from the pulmonary artery this blood does not go to the lungs, and why it shunts towards the aorta. All right, so you might have this question. So this is because, as I said, this in the fetus, the lungs, that is the right lung as well as the left lung, these are filled with fluids. So because of the presence of the fluids, there is resistance in the lungs. So there will be presence of resistance. Because of the resistance from the lungs, that is, as I said, this right side of the heart, it is the right side of the heart from the right atrium to the right ventricle, then the pulmonary artery. So this will carry blood to the lungs so that it gets oxygenated. But because there is presence of resistance in the lungs, because of the pressure in the lungs, so because there is fluid filled in the lungs, because of that there will be pressure in the lungs which will cause resistance. So this side, the right side of the heart, will have more pressure than the left side of the heart. Because of the increase in the pressure, it will try to because of the increase in the pressure, this blood will try to flow in the low pressure area. So right side have more pressure than the left side of the heart in during the fetal period. So this blood will try to flow to the left side. So see here, because of the resistance, it does not move this side, it tries to move this way. And because of the resistance here, because of the resistance present here, because of the lungs resistance, it will try to move this way. So this is the reason shunting takes place. All right, so this was about the fetal circulation. I hope everyone understood.